You mentioned you're getting engaged, and I think anybody who knows you, like anytime I'm like, "Hey, you want to go to dinner?" I always know it's a plus one because you're always bringing the missus with you, who you guys are
Yeah.
like yin and yang, man. You're always together, and obviously, sometimes being like an extreme person sometimes makes it hard for us to find somebody that can put up with us. But I feel like you found a great mate there, man. How important is it for people that are looking to really constantly be climbing that mountain and always be pushing themselves to have like a supportive spouse or business partner in their life to make that happen?
I think it's the most important, for a man and women too, but I can only speak for men. It is by far the most important decision that you can make if that's one that you want to make. Get married, have children, whatever. Dude, that could be your best deal ever, or that could be your worst fucking deal ever. Like that could end up in a bankruptcy, or that could end up in a very thriving, nine-figure business. Two extremes. Yeah, you better make sure you're on the same wavelength. You better make sure, as a man, I think that you're a leader. She's a woman in her own right. She has her own personality, her own quirks, her own independent, behavior and all that kind of stuff. But she knew very early on where I was headed, where I want to go, what my values are, who I am. She's understood me more so than anybody, which is impossible feat in my opinion. So, that's why she got a ring. But yeah, man, it's and we do things separately too. I went to guys dinner on Saturday. Like it's cool. She's cool like that. But yeah, just I knew very early on when we started getting serious, let me start bringing her with me to these masterminds because right about now she thinks I'm crazy, but if she meets 100 other crazy friends of mine, then she'll be like, "Oh wow, okay, he's not nuts. This is actually a room for these guys that they meet up at and they actually commiserate together. All right, this is great. Like let's just go see that." So it became more normal. Obviously, it opened up her mind because I was on my journey way longer, than before I met her. So I think that started to really be able to open her up. And now those are, that's the types of friendships that she's garnered. And that's, she has her own podcast and she has her own thing. And that's what she wants to do.
That's very cool, man. I didn't even think about that. That's such a great way because they get asked a lot, like, "Hey, how do I get my spouse or my fiance on board?" Like, bring them around. Like, let them know that like I might be weird to you, but I'm just normal in my circles. It's this is an average person.
You think I'm weird?
Yeah,
Let me show you some of my friends on these masterminds. You're going to be thankful for me.
yeah,
You're like,
man.
well,
That's
that guy's
awesome.
fucking toast. And hey, you know what, dude? Listen, don't judge anybody unless they're trying to get you to call them a cat or something and they're identifying as a cat. That's fucking weird in any realm. But yeah, seriously, just dude, it's funny. I think guys specifically, especially entrepreneurs, it's like, oh, my spouse doesn't get me. And that might be so. There are some cases like that. There's legitimate cases like that. But you need to ask yourself, like, have you legitimately even tried through osmosis to bring her around? Have you even cared to ask, like, hey, do you understand what's going on? Like, do you understand what I do? Like, let me bring you around some of these environments. And the answer is usually no. And I'm like, well, of course she doesn't get you, dude. You don't even know what you're doing half the time. And you expect her to understand you when you come home, you're like, ah, you're all over the place. What the hell does she know? She doesn't even know what you do half the time. And it's funny because I meet people like that, and it hasn't been a cakewalk for us either. We've had our tiffs and differences, but she understands me now. Like when I signed up for the 100-mile marathon, she was like, "Here we go, let's go." She's on my crew. She's gonna be crewing me too. Again, involvement. Like, babe, I'm running 100 miles. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be a big time constraint, but it's going to be fucking awesome at the finish line. And she understands that as a man, I lose a piece of me if I'm not driving at something audacious like that. And she
That's
doesn't want to take that away from me, which is exactly the spouse that you want.
Yeah.